Good Erev Yontif to you, and I hope you're all well. During lockdown, some people have got themselves a dog, and a lot of people have taken up walking or even running. Now, do you think you could run 4 miles in an hour? Probably. Now, could you do it again the following hour? Quite possibly. But how about the hour after that? I'm sure by then the legs might be feeling it. But what if you had to do it every hour for the next 2 or 3 days? Now, it's hard to say exactly how long you'll be running for, because this race only finishes when there's one person left standing. And the trouble is, some runners can keep going for quite a while. In fact, the current record held by a Belgian dentist is 75 hours, or 312 miles. Welcome to Big Dog's Backyard Ultra, the toughest and weirdest race you've probably never heard of. Now, firstly, the name. Big Dog is race organizer Gary Crantel's pet bulldog, who spends most of his time snoozing under a table at the start-finish line, barely lifting a droopy eyelid as dozens of sleep-deprived runners shuffle past him day and night. The backyard is Cantrell and wife Sandra's sprawling farm in Bell Buckle, rural Tennessee, where runners complete a loop of the woods every hour during the day, before switching to an out-and-back route on the road at night for safety reasons. An ultra is surely the most apt title for a race in which someone can run for 300 miles, yet still be classed as did not finish. Now, I don't know if it's your kind of thing, but it really doesn't appeal to me. But it made me think of that wonderful saying, life is a marathon, not a sprint. But what's the Jewish approach to this idea? Well, every evening we say these beautiful words, Ki hem chayenu v'oirech yameinu, for they are our life, and they lengthen our days. V'hem negeh yomam v'layla, and on them we will meditate day and night. But what are we referring to? Well, in fact, we say in God's great love for us, He taught us Torah and mitzvahs, statutes and laws. And this, in fact, is an abbreviated form of the Ava Rabbah prayer that we say in Shacharis just before the Shema. And Rav Hirsch explains that it thanks God for the gift of divine revelation that He granted us. And it declares that the Torah is the eternal heritage of the Jewish people, and that all other goods and gifts of life are in comparison transitory. And that is what we're celebrating on Shavuot. As we say in Devarim, Torah sivalanu Moshe, Morasha kelas Yaakov. The Torah which Moshe instructed us is the inheritance of the entire congregation of Jacob. Judaism, therefore, is our Yerusha. It's our heritage. It was given to us by birth, and it will be our life if we recognize the value of that gift, and we embrace its teachings and practice its mitzvahs. As it says in Mishlei in Proverbs, B'ni, my child, Torasi al tishkach, do not forget my Torah. But let your mind retain my mitzvahs. Ki oirech yamim ushnos chayim v'shalom yosifu lach. For they will bestow upon you length of days, years of life, and peace. Rav Dessler offers a fascinating insight. There's a Gomorrah in Shabbos that says, Torah is life-giving to those who approach it with their right hand. But what does that mean? Well, Rashi explains that the right-handed approach means to delve into it with all our strength and make the effort to understand its secrets. Our main strength lies in our right hand. In other words, the way to acquire Torah is to learn it in depth, with excitement and a sense of discovery. Because in that way, we'll come to understand that the Torah is Devash v'chalav tachat l'shonech, honey and milk under our tongue. We'll realize the sweetness of Torah and its ability to sustain our lives. Life may not always be easy. At times it might feel like an uphill slog, a never-ending marathon, and the toughest type of race that we could imagine, where we're stuck in a constant cycle of eat, sleep, and repeat. It can even appear meaningless at times, cruel, and even pointless. Life is a marathon, and a marathon is no easy feat. It's physically exhausting and mentally draining, but the rewards we reap are immeasurable. Says the Gomorrah, the Torah is our Sama Dechaya. It's our elixir of life. It gives our days purpose, our years meaning, and our life true value. Ki hem chayenu v'orech yameinu, for they are our life and they lengthen our days. You know, on Shavuot we speak about Matan Torah, the giving of the Torah. But there also has to be Kabbalas HaTorah, receiving the Torah. Because the gift not only needs a giver, but it also needs us, each and every one of us, willing to receive and accept it. And so on Shavuot, let's remember that God, in his great love for us, taught us Torah and mitzvahs. All we have to do is keep turning it over and keep turning it over, and keep learning it and delving into it, because we will find everything that we need in life in it. Eva and I wish you, your family, and the entire community Chag Sameach, a very happy, healthy, and enjoyable Shavuos.